My sister, let me tell you a story that will make your heart beat fast and your eyes open wide. It's about a woman named Claire Thompson who thought she was too good for her man Daniel Brooks. She broke his heart and crushed his spirit, telling him he wasn't rich enough or ambitious enough for her fancy friends. Daniel, he disappeared like smoke in the wind, but he wasn't gone forever. Now, years have passed, and Claire thinks she's living her best life. She's about to marry Richard Collins, a big man with deep pockets and a family name that opens doors. Claire, she's feeling so proud of herself, she decides to invite Daniel to her wedding. Maybe she wants to show off, maybe she feels a little sorry for him. But oh, she doesn't know what's coming. Picture this. It's the wedding day, and everyone who's anyone is there. The air is buzzing with excitement, cameras flashing like fireflies. Then, a car pulls up, sleek and black as night. The door opens, and out steps Daniel. But this isn't the Daniel that Claire left behind. No, this man is sharp as a razor in his fine suit, standing tall like a king. The crowd goes quiet. You could hear a pin drop. Claire's perfect day is about to turn into something she never expected. Daniel isn't there to wish her well. Oh no. He's come to shake things up, to bring secrets into the light that were meant to stay hidden. What happens next, my people, is going to be the talk of the town for years to come. This wedding is about to become the biggest scandal anyone has ever seen. Now, let me take you back to when this all started. Claire and Daniel, they were young and in love, or so everyone thought. For 3 years, they were together, building dreams and making plans. But Claire, she had bigger dreams than Daniel could fill. She looked at him and saw a man who couldn't give her the life she wanted. One day, Claire sat Daniel down and broke his heart into 1,000 pieces. She didn't just end things, she crushed him with her words. "Daniel," she said, her voice cold as ice, "you're not the man I need. You don't have the money, you don't have the drive. How can I introduce you to my friends? You're just not good enough." Daniel, he took those words like a knife to the chest. He didn't argue, didn't beg. He just walked away, disappeared into the night. But in his heart, a fire was burning. He made a promise to himself that day, that he would become someone Claire couldn't ignore. Years passed, and Claire's life seemed to be going exactly as she planned. She met Richard Collins at a charity gala, all champagne and sparkle. Richard was everything she thought she wanted, rich, powerful, with a family name that opened doors. When he proposed with a diamond ring big enough to blind, Claire thought she had it all. As she planned her wedding, Claire couldn't help but think about Daniel. Where was he now? What was he doing? In a moment of what she told herself was generosity, but was really pride, she decided to send him an invitation. Let him see what he missed out on, she thought, a smirk on her face as she sealed the envelope. The day of the wedding arrived, and it was everything Claire had dreamed of. The church was decked out in flowers. The guests were dressed in their finest. Claire stood in the bridal suite, admiring her reflection in the mirror. Her dress was a masterpiece of lace and silk, her hair and makeup perfect. She felt like a queen about to claim her crown. As she waited for the ceremony to begin, Claire heard a commotion outside. Curious, she peeked out the window and felt her heart stop. There, stepping out of a car that cost more than her entire wedding, was Daniel. But this wasn't the Daniel she remembered. This man exuded power and confidence, his suit custom-made, and probably worth more than Richard's. Claire watched, frozen, as Daniel made his way into the church. The guests parted before him like the Red Sea, whispers following in his wake. Who was this man? How did he know the bride? The questions buzzed through the air like angry bees. Inside the church, Richard stood at the altar, unaware of the storm that was about to break. As the music started and the doors opened, all eyes turned to see the bride. But Claire wasn't there. Instead, Daniel stood in the doorway, his eyes scanning the crowd until they locked on Richard. "I'm sorry to interrupt," Daniel's voice rang out, strong and clear. "But there's something everyone here needs to know." The crowd held its breath, waiting. Richard's face went pale, recognition dawning in his eyes. Daniel walked down the aisle, each step deliberate. Claire invited me here today to show me what I missed out on, he said, his voice carrying to every corner of the church. But I'm here to show her, and all of you, what she missed out on. He turned to face the stunned guests. When Claire left me, she said I wasn't good enough. Not rich enough, not ambitious enough. Well, I took those words and used them as fuel. I built an empire from nothing, became the man she said I could never be. But that's not why I'm here. Daniel pulled out a folder from inside his jacket. I'm here because in my journey to the top, I discovered some interesting things about Richard Collins and his family. Things I'm sure Claire, and all of you, would be very interested to know. The church erupted into chaos. Richard lunged forward, trying to grab the folder, but Daniel was too quick. Claire burst into the church, her perfect dress now wrinkled, her makeup streaked with tears. Daniel, please, she begged, but it was too late. As Daniel began to speak, revealing secrets that shook the very foundation of Richard's empire, Claire realized the true cost of her actions. She had thrown away a good man for the promise of wealth and status, only to find that the life she thought she wanted was built on lies. In the end, as the guests filed out of the church, shocked and scandalized, Claire stood alone. Her perfect wedding lay in ruins around her. But more than that, she had lost something she never knew she had, a man who loved her enough to become great, not for himself, but to prove her wrong. Daniel walked out of the church, his head held high. He had come for revenge, but as he looked at Claire one last time, he realized he no longer needed it. He had become more than she ever thought he could be, and that was enough. As the sun set on what should have been Claire's perfect day, the city buzzed with the scandal. But for Daniel, it was the dawn of a new day. He drove away, leaving behind the past, and looking forward to a future he had built with his own two hands. And Claire? She was left to pick up the pieces of her shattered dreams, realizing too late that true worth isn't measured in dollars and cents, but in the content of one's character. The wedding that was supposed to be the talk of the town became a cautionary tale, a reminder that sometimes the one you walk away from is the one you should have held onto all along.